Welcome to the lesson From Shape to Shape. This lesson is recommended as the second lesson in the topic of perimeters, right after the racing turtles. The app deals with the questions where a perimeter of a shape is given, and the students use this information to calculate the perimeter of a similar shape, but with a certain change. The students will have to figure out how this change affects the perimeter. In the first question of the lesson, we will have the students calculate one standalone perimeter, and here it is. Students can think about this question in different ways. They could simply count along the perimeter, 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1, and so on, or they could use multiplication. From here to here, it's a perimeter of 2, and we have that 4 times, and we have this 3 4 times as well. The students can describe their different methods. And then we can move on to turtle controls. This is a simple animation that gives the answer. We click play, and the turtle runs across the perimeter and counts it. And the answer is 20. Let's move on. These are instructions for the next page that has a question with a time limit. This will be the only such question in the lesson. Read it to the students. On the next page, you will see 2 shapes. One will be the shape we saw on the previous page with the perimeter of 20. Your task will be to find the perimeter of the second shape. You will have only 15 seconds, so try to find a fast way to do it. Write the perimeter you found on a piece of paper. Now, the fast way we are referring to will be to focus on the difference between the shape with the known perimeter of 20 and the new one. Let's see the question and click Start. It's interesting to see what students will try to calculate the perimeter like this, going over the whole shape, and what students will try to look at the difference between the 2 shapes. If you want, you can give a few more seconds to the class and then move on to the next page. And here we ask the students what they thought. They can just give their numbers. Now we continue to the next page where we have the same shapes for a discussion. One answer you will probably get in class is 25. This is because this bump can be counted as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So students who get this answer did catch on to the method of focusing on the difference between the 2 shapes. But in the short time they had, they missed a detail that this line can be viewed as coming from here. So the only additions are these 2 segments, 2 plus 2, which is 4. So the correct answer is 24. Let's erase the scribbles with a long click on the Scribble button. And we can use a dedicated tool to illustrate this. This is Movable Lines Mode. Here, the shapes are covered with movable segments, so we can drag this over here, and we can see the 2 extra segments that add 4 to the perimeter. At this stage in class, we move to a student worksheet. This is a PDF file with 1 page that we print out for the students. It looks like this. And the instructions are, in each of the following 4 exercises, use the given perimeter of one of the shapes to find the perimeter of the other shape. Let's have a glance at the questions. And we have the same 4 questions back in the app itself. Let's see them there. And we're back. And the next page. After the students finish, listen to their answers. You could also hand them a wireless mouse and let them use the movable lines. They can actually be used in 2 different ways. This line could be moved here, and then now we can see that this shape has an extra 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So the perimeter of this shape is 32. Let's click Reset Lines. And maybe another student will show an alternative way to look at the problem by moving this line here. So to move from this shape to this shape, we need to add 1, 2, 3, 4. So we reach the same answer in a different way. Now, some students may make the same kind of mistake we saw before and not think about this line, and they will find the difference between the shapes to be 9, the 4 on the sides plus the 5 here at the bottom. Next question. And we have the same kind of process. The students can explain the answer by coming to the board or using movable lines. And it can be shown that the perimeters are the same. Next question. In this question as well, there are 2 natural ways to use the movable lines. So let's show one of them. We can move down these 3 segments, 1, 2, and 3. And we can see that the left shape has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra units. So the perimeter is 36 plus 6, 42. Since the goal of the lesson is not simply to reach the correct answer, but to promote flexible thinking, we can show the students another solution if none of them thought about it. We'll move back to basic operations, and you can give the students a hint with the scribble tool. You can mark these 2 holes as the first hint, and mark these 2 holes as a second hint. And we can see that these are the same. The difference in the perimeter arises from the difference between this hole and this hole. We can move back to movable lines, move this segment up, and compare the shapes this way. And to the last question. This question might look simpler than the previous ones, but it's actually the trickiest. Let the students give their answers and the rationale behind them. First, call upon the students who did not use the movable lines idea. After that, the movable lines can be used by you or one of the students. This segment can be moved here and this one here, and we can see that this shape is the perimeter of this square plus 2. And the perimeter of this shape is the perimeter of the square plus 4. So this shape has an extra 2. The perimeter is 28. And let's conclude. We used the known perimeter of one shape to find the perimeter of another shape that looks similar. There's also a general idea here. Use a solution you know to solve a new problem. This is actually applicable even outside the realm of math. And that's it. We hope you enjoyed this lesson in class. Thanks for watching.